Okay, guys, we're here with our Stash Ad video. We got little Maddox, the model pup. He's going to be hosting this as he usually does. Because, he's a star and he'll be the first one to tell you that. So let's take a look at what we recently just picked up. Let's start with some really cool sci-fi stuff. If you watch one of my recent videos, I went to Gundam Planet. And let me just run you through the Stash Ads that we picked up there. All right. Here's the first one coming to my little man. There it is. That is the Destroid Defender from Macross. This is one of my favorite of the anime mechs, and I guess it's Maddox's favorite too. Look at him. He's really digging that. You liking that, little man? Oh, okay, he was interested for a second. But this is one of my favorite mechs from the Macross animated series. And I do have one that I picked up previously. And I just picked this one up because I'm hoping that I'll have time to squeeze this one in on a build for MosquitoCon coming up. So let's move along and we'll take a look at the next one. All right, now, in keeping with the old school anime theme going here, we picked up a Bigfoot version GT, I think it's what it's called. This is from SPT Lasner, I think is the name of the anime here. They had some really great designs in this show. Oh no, I'm sorry, my bad. This is from Fist of the Sun Dugam, and they had some really great designs in this show. This is by Max Factory. They came out with a line of kits based on this anime, and they are really, really cool. I mean, this thing has some amazing detail, all sorts of weapons that are packed in it, similar to the previous Dugram model kit that I picked up. So this one's going to be really fun to build on the channel. So you guys will be seeing that soon. And as you can see, Maddox is really excited about this one. Seems a little more interested in the Macross kits. Okay, little man. We got something that's really going to perk your interest coming up next. All right, the next thing we got coming up is the SDF Macross itself, the SDF-1 Macross. This is the movie edition from the Do You Remember Love Macross movie, which came out, I think it was 1986, if I'm not mistaken. And it's one of my favorite anime movies of all time. This is the in-flight version of the ship, of the Macross itself. I do have the transformed version as another kit. This was released by Hasegawa, and it's a really well-detailed kit. Even brings tiny little mechs that go positioned along the ship as if it's going into battle, and the mechs are ready to start fighting right from the decks of the ship. It's going to be a really cool build, and I'm hoping to at some point get along to building both the transformed version and the in-flight version. You guys are really going to like that if you're fans of the show. And you can see that I'm a big fan of the show because right up on my wall, as I'm going to put right about here, I'll show you a poster I have from Macross Do You Remember Love. It's a poster I've had for decades now. I love it. And take a look at it now. Okay, guys, this one is a really cool one. This was actually given to me by Mrs. Onyx Fierro as a Valentine's Day gift from Gundam Iron Blooded Orphans. I always get that name of that one mixed up, and it's a really cool one. I can't wait to jump on that one. That's going to be a really interesting build because I'm going to try and do something different with the colors. That's coming up in the near future, with along with every other thing that I keep saying is coming up in the near future. These stash ads are just driving me crazy. I'm getting so many kits and I just don't have the time to build them, but I love it. I love it. So anyway, this is going to be a really cool one. It's going to come up soon on the build. We're going to let's take a little look at the box. I'll show you some of the sides. You see all the details that this thing comes with. Look at that sword. That's freaking amazing. So, as you can see, little Maddox is really, really, yeah, he's really into it. Okay, little guy. Let's see if the next one perks you up a little bit. All right, now we have the Mark 009 Psycho Gundam. This is an old school kit that was re-released by Bandai. I actually have some of the originals. I don't have the original one of this one, but I do have it of some of the Zeta Gundam. And this one is really cool because it is the original kit. It's huge. I mean, it's a 1/144 scale, I think it is, but it is huge because the Psycho Gundam was a very, very large mech on the show. So even though it's a small scale, it's a huge kit. So I really can't wait to get this one going. Maybe no, I don't know if I'll have time to squeeze this one in for Mosquito Con. What do you think, little guy? Are you feeling this one? No, 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 no. Okay. Well, let's just take a look at the box here. The box art is fantastic. I love that box art on this. And if we take a look at some of the panels on the side, you can see the weapons, some of the loadout that it's had, some of the accessories, and it's also a transforming mech. So it transforms into a ship of some kind. I'm not really sure. But it's a really, really cool, old school, big build. And I'm really looking forward to this one. Okay, so that's going to do it for all of our sci-fi. Oh, no, it won't. I forgot one very special kit that I just got thanks to eBay being my best friend sometimes, kind of. Anyway, let's take a look at it. Okay, guys, I got really lucky. I jumped on eBay one day just poking around out of curiosity, and I ran across this. The original Battlestar Galactica Cylon Raider, which was originally sold by Monogram. This one is a reissued version, which is sold by Revell, has a Revell Monogram banner on it. And it's a really cool model. Is it the most highly detailed kit? No, but you got to remember it came out in the 80s. I mean, it's got raised panel lines, which I'm really not a fan of, but it really is a good looking model overall when it's put together. And if you paint it and detail it right, really makes a nice, nice model. Moebius, I think, released a Cylon Raider from the original series, along with their Battlestar Galactica set, of which I have the Galactica, and the Vipers. But I never had a Cylon Raider either in the original release from Monogram or Revell Monogram or from Moebius. But now I finally got one. I'm very happy. Now, if we take a look at it, you'll see the box art is really cool. Shows the Cylon Raiders and Vipers in battle against each other. And we can take a look at the sides of the box. It's got some really cool pictures of the built model. It really, really is a cool vintage kit. See, even little booby boy over there agrees. See, he's getting real excited about the Cylon Raider. He's a Battlestar fan just like me, right, little man? Okay, so that's going to do it for all of our sci-fi stuff. Oh, see, I keep looking around and I keep finding stuff that I know I haven't shown on the channel before. And little baby bear is looking around. And I got one more thing to show you on the sci-fi front. Okay, forgot about this one. This was another recent buy. This is another Hobby Lobby buy. A really large Gundam. This is the, I forget which one this one is. I'm only staring right at it. So the Sinanji, MSN 06S Sinanji, which not really sure what the story is behind this one. I just saw that box art and fell in love with it, so I had to pick it up. And not to mention that Hobby Lobby's price didn't hurt. So if we take a look at the box art, this is really, really cool. And then we can look at the side panels here. You can see a whole bunch of pictures of the built model. This is going to be amazing, this thing, when it's built together. I've got an idea for it. Don't know if it's going to work, but I've got an idea for this. So that's going to be really cool. We got to start. I have to start getting into more of the sci-fi and Gundam stuff. I love the cars, but I'm not doing enough of the sci-fi and Gundam. So we're going to be getting more of that this year. All right. Well, that is going to do it for all of our sci-fi stuff and anime stuff. And now we're going to go to our automotive section. All right, guys, this is a kit that as soon as I found out that it was available, I ran right over to Gundam Planet. This is the main reason I went to Gundam Planet, was just to pick this up. This is the AE86 from the anime Initial D. This is really a cool kit. It actually comes with the figure, the character who drives the car comes as part of the kit, and it's fully detailed. It's a really, really cool version of the AE86. One of my favorite Japanese sport hatches. And if you watch the anime, you'll know that it's one of the main characters in the show. So it's a really cool car. I can't wait to build this one. I may have to bump this one up on the list because it's just so cool. Anyway, that was the main reason I went to Gundam Planet. All right, so let's take a look at the box. It's got the really cool box art. Shows the A86 drifting around the corner. As you know, he's racing this mountain. I forget what the name of it was. And if we take a look at the pictures on the sides of the box, there's a whole lot of detail here to be seen. It's a really, really cool kit, and I'm glad I was able to grab one before they were all snatched up. All right, guys, this one is one that I was waiting for a while, and they finally got it in at my favorite hobby shop, Tech Toys in Parsippany, New Jersey. If you guys are ever out there, you have to stop in. They're fantastic. I love the place. And I ordered this with them a while back, and it finally came in. This is the Aston Martin 007 uh, James Bond version of the Aston Martin DB5. It's a really cool kit. Only downside of this, from what I've seen, from things I've read, and videos I've watched, it doesn't bring an engine, but it does bring an engine compartment and a hood that can be. I don't really understand why, unless they're planning on releasing one with an engine in the future. I don't know, but it's a really cool kit. It's part of their Easy Click system, which I don't really know what that is because I've never built one. So it's going to be interesting to see what this is all about. But I have another Aston Martin James Bond kit. It's a vintage kit. I forgot who makes it. Was it Kyosho or I forget who made it, but that is a vintage kit, and it's one that I haven't wanted to build because it is such a really cool vintage kit. Maybe we'll take a really close look at it one day. Um, so when I heard this one was out, I had to jump right on it. So keeping it within our theme of cars in the entertainment field, movies and TV, wait till you see the next one that I found. Here we go, guys. A blast from the past. The 80s are back. The Miami Vice Revell Daytona Spider. Now, I've already built one of these on the channel, but I really wanted another one because I wanted to correct a lot of what's wrong with this kit. Mostly the exhaust system. I hate it, and I want to really correct it and add some stuff that I forgot to add on the previous one that I built. So I really wanted to build another one of these and build it a little closer to what's on the show. And I'm glad I got another chance. I was at Tech Toys. I saw it on the shelf. They happened to have one in, and I grabbed it as soon as I saw it. I don't think this is a current release. I think this is something that they just had in a back room somewhere and decided to put it on the shelf. And as soon as I walked in there, I had to grab it. Now, as we all know, this is not a true Daytona Spider, as it's not really a model of the Ferrari. It is a kit of the car on the show, which was a kit based off of a Corvette. And a lot of the parts and running gear in this kit comes from Revell's own, I think it was C3 Corvette. So it's a really interesting kit in the way they incorporated all the Corvette parts into the Ferrari body and interior. It's interesting the way they did that. So I think so. I was watching one of our fellow YouTube members recently just put a video up of building this kit. He did a really great job with it. If I remember who that was, I will be posting a link to his video. He did a really great job with that. And I really enjoyed watching that video. So we'll be doing a video on this at some point soon because I really want to do justice to this car as it was shown on the show. It wasn't not going to make it a real Daytona, but make it the same thing that Sonny Crockett drove on the show, which is going to be really cool. I tried that with my previous build, but there were a couple of details that I didn't do because I couldn't decide whether I wanted it to look like a real Daytona or like Sonny Crockett's car. But this is going to be Sonny Crockett's car coming up. So stay tuned for that. This is going to be a lot of fun. And if you take a look at the box, I love the box art on this. You see the Daytona, you see Crockett and Tubbs in the corner there. And then you have all sorts of really cool shots on the side, showing the interior, showing the built model. One interesting part of this kit, an interesting little bit of Revell Miami Vice lore, is that they could not label this car as a Ferrari. You'll never find a box, as far as I know, you'll never see the box for this particular model labeled as a Ferrari. Now, they did re-release it several times as a I think they called it just a Spider or a Daytona, but they never listed the name Ferrari on it. And the reason for that is because it's not a model of a Ferrari. If you guys know the lore of this show, Enzo Ferrari hated this car. He hated this car so much, especially after the show became a huge hit, that in 1986, when the Testarossa debuted and wowed the world with its amazing looks, he said, I will give you guys 2 Testarossas if you destroy the Daytona Spider. He wanted to see it blown up on the show because he really, really hated that. He was very protective of the Ferrari brand, and he didn't like the fact that these guys were becoming world famous driving a kit car. So he gave them 2 Ferrari Testarossas, which, if you remember, were painted white and became world famous and really brought the Testarossa and the Ferrari brand to the forefront of pop culture. And in one episode, which is called, I forget what the name of it was called. I think it's called Irish Eyes Are Smiling, if you guys are interested. They do blow up the Daytona Spider, but wasn't what it seemed to be. If you delve deep into the lore of the show, the original Spider that they used in the show, that Don Johnson actually drove, was not destroyed. What they did blow up was a shell of the car, which, of course, they had quite a few lying around since they were made by McBurney, and it was called the McBurney Spider. And they actually blew that up as opposed to blowing up the original car that was in the show. And that was enough to satisfy Enzo Ferrari. The Daytona was gone, and the Testarossa became the new Miami Vice car, and the rest is history. Really a little interesting fact of Miami Vice. I'm a huge Miami Vice fan, so sorry if I rambled on about that. So anyway, let's move on to our next automotive goodie. Okay, guys, this is the new stamp. Well, not new. It's I forget what year these came out, but these are really cool because they come in a tin box. And it's really the main reason I bought it, because it comes in a tin box, and a tin box is just so cool. It's the United States Postal the Postal Service box, and it's just really cool, that little box. It's got great pictures of the car. Look at the box art on that. I mean, it's just beautiful. And it's a cool little tin collector's box. The model is in there. It's the same model Challenger that they've had for quite a while. But just in the way that it's packaged is really the only reason I bought this kit. Because I love, don't get me wrong, I love a Challenger. But just the packaging is the main reason I bought it, because that box art just got me. And the tin box, I bought their Corvette, their C1 Corvette, which also came in the same tin. And mostly because of the tin box. I gotta admit, it wasn't really the kit, it was the box that got me. So, I just had to have it. I mean, who can't not love that box art? So we got one more to go. My little guy is like, Daddy, when are we gonna get done with this? I have things to do. I have places to go. I have people to see. So one more to go, and then little man will be able to continue with his business. All right, guys, this is the last new addition to the stash. The 73 Mustang Mach 1 Street Machines from AMT from their Matchbox series. This was gifted to me by my buddy Hank. This is a really cool kit. It's actually one that he started a while back, and he wasn't even sure if all the parts were there. He just gave it to me. He said, if you can use it for parts, use it. Um, and I started going through it, and you know what I found? It looks like everything is in there. It's a really cool kit of the Mach 1. Comes with a roll cage. You can build it's like a race car version of it. It's just a really neat vintage kit. And one that I will build because it's already been started. Oh, my little guy looks like he's ready to make a move. Okay, little man. All right, guys. We're going to take a little closer look at what Hank has in the box. And it's just really cool. And we're going to be stripping it down. He did paint a few things, but we're going to be stripping it down. We're going to look a little closer at it. And we may do a comparison with the current Mach 1 Mustang that was released. So this is going to be a really cool thing to look back on. So I think the little guy has had enough of this and he's ready to go. So we're going to move on to the next thing. Right, little man? Say goodbye to your public, little baby bear. Say goodbye, little bear.